We are out in the garden today. I do need to take care of a lot of things out here. We are still currently working on the supply room, as you guys know, but we are kind of at a standstill right now. We do need some more materials, and we actually went to town yesterday to get some more material and went around to 3 different stores in our local little town and couldn't find what we were looking for. So we're gonna have to make a trip to the big city here in the next few days to get some of those supplies. But that's okay. Like I mentioned, there are some things that we need to get done around here outside of the supply room, and for starters, with the garden. It is a actually beautiful day outside, and I think today is a perfect day to work out here in the garden area. Anthony and I were out here yesterday and actually did a little bit of work, nothing too crazy, but let me show you guys what we did. Well, we kind of organized the greenhouse a little bit. And if some of you guys may have watched the Daily Vibe, you may have noticed that we did have a bunch of vines and stuff growing up through the floor. I ripped all those out yesterday. I went around and gathered up all of my pots, the bigger pots that I had actually stuff growing in. And I kind of moved them over here. I went around and got all my hanging pots too, gathered those up, threw those down there. I actually got my seed starter trays out and ready to use, along with some little containers there in case if I need those. I do eventually want to put like shelving down here so it's not like this. We just haven't gotten there yet. Soon, I'm sure Anthony will be working on this here soon, but for right now, it's fine. Everything's cleaned up and looking nice. Another nice thing that has been added to the greenhouse is water. We put this sink in and we actually hooked up the water to it one time and it was leaking pretty bad, but Anthony actually went ahead yesterday and came in here and fixed the leak. So now I have a working sink inside my greenhouse. It's gonna be so nice when I'm in here like watering the plants and stuff. Having this sink here, easy access to water. Another thing that we did get that we haven't actually installed yet, got to do a little bit of research and get a little bit more material for it, but I actually got my louvers for my windows yesterday, so hopefully we can get these installed here in the next few days. Like I mentioned, we got to do a little bit of research on how we got to cut like the windows and frame the windows out for those louvers, but I know that's coming. Anthony mentioned to me yesterday about building my door, so I know that's coming. But for right now, I wanted to clean this out because I do want to use this winter. I want to actually grow in the greenhouse this winter, try my hand at it and see if I can make something happen. I'm gonna follow the same guidelines that I've been following with my garden. If I can grow something and produce at least 1 tomato, 1 cucumber, whatever I grow in here, if I could just get one of something in there, I think that would be a huge success. That was about all we got done out here yesterday. As I mentioned, it got a little warm out here yesterday, and we got kind of a later start, but the greenhouse is nice and clean and organized. I swept it all out. I can't wait to use it. Hopefully I can get to it today. But one of the main things I want to accomplish is this. If you guys notice, I did put some weed barrier down on just this one garden bed. That was all I got to. This was like a week ago I did that. If you guys know, I had like a super overabundance of weeds in my garden beds this year. I mean, look at this one. I mean, it was bad. Every garden bed was like that. Part of the reason why I think I had so many weeds in my garden this year was last year Anthony and I, kind of like where the dog run is at, it's on the other side, we did go around there and rake all the leaves up and actually turn that into mulch, and I took that mulch and moved it into my garden bed. So I think somewhere along the way there was a bunch of grass and weed seeds in there, so I think that's part of the reason why my weeds got so out of control this year. I will say, out of the 3 years I've been growing a garden out here, that by far this year was the worst year I had with weeds. So I will not be making that mistake again. I don't think I'm going to be taking, maybe not directly taking the mulch, because there's leaves coming. It's fall. Their leaves are already changing and falling. I'm gonna have to go out there and blow some leaves around, but I do want to save some of the leaves from this year But instead of like mulching them and putting them basically from the mulch and putting them right on my garden beds this year, I actually might let that kind of sit and kind of like turn into like a compost before I use it. That way I don't, you know, move weeds and stuff around like I've been doing. Like I said, this is by far the worst year with the weeds in my garden I've ever had. Now I do know too that it's not just because of that. I do have grass growing out here, so I'm sure the seeds and stuff blow into the garden beds. And actually a lot of you guys have suggested maybe putting down a weed barrier around the garden area and maybe using like river rock or something instead of having grass. I like having grass. I specifically planted this grass in here. When we first started using the garden a couple years ago, I actually tilled all the dirt up in here, and I went around and spread all this seed, grass seed in here, because that's the look I was going for. I just want to look at grass. That's all I want. So I just really need to like kind of keep up on maintaining the grass in here and mowing when it needs to get done instead of letting it get out of control. Hopefully next year that will kind of change, and I'll be able to keep up on it a little bit more than I've been keeping up on it. So I'm hoping with all these extra precautions I'm going to be taking for next year, that will help my garden kind of be a little bit more maintained than it has been this year. I do like the weed barrier. You guys may be wondering, well, why didn't you put a weed barrier in there before? Because before I never really had like a huge issue with weeds. Like I said, this was the first year it was really, really bad, and like it was actually like grass and stuff growing in there. The last couple years it's just been like ground cherries and like random weird looking weeds that I've never even seen. But this year it's actually like grass and clover and all that stuff. So like I said, hopefully the weed barrier will help protect my garden beds from the weeds this year. Hopefully next year when spring and summer's here, where Anthony and I were good about keeping it mowed in here and kind of down and a little more tameable. You guys can see I still have tomatoes, and they are still growing very well actually. Here, look at these romas. I mean, so many romas and good stuff growing. I don't think I'm going to be ripping these out like today or anything. I think I'm gonna let these grow. I actually need to come out here and like pick some of these tomatoes and start saving those ones. I still have quite a few bags of tomatoes inside the house that I need to do something with. Only like, it's like a bag and a half or something, which isn't enough to do a whole lot with. So hopefully maybe I can pick some of these ones, add it to that collection, and hopefully maybe make more jars of tomato sauce, because I made like, I don't even know how many jars of tomato sauce I got up there, and I've actually been using it quite a bit for our pizzas. I actually made spaghetti with that sauce a couple times. So not that I'm running low, I'm just using it up, and I'm trying to save that for like the winter months when it's cold, you know. So I'll have to come out here and pick these. So I want to leave these tomatoes. They are still doing very well. They're growing, they're producing still. I have not been very consistent about watering them, but it seems like the water, when it rains, it perks them right back up, and then they thrive and grow more tomatoes. It's crazy. Now these tomatoes, however, these are all volunteer tomatoes. I did not plant any of these. Actually, this garden bed right here was specifically planted for carrots and onions, and the tomatoes just took over, and I didn't really get very many carrots like I really wanted to. I really wanted like the whole thing to be covered, and I wanted a bunch to freeze and a bunch to preserve and stuff like that, but that didn't happen. I think I got like maybe 6 carrots out of there that actually grew. But I want to rip these ones out. These ones aren't doing as well as those ones are. They're just looking really sad. And like I said, these were volunteers. I did not intentionally plant these, so that was just a bonus this year. in the garden area is done, and it really changed the whole feel out here. Check it out.
Yep, just by mowing.
Yeah.
Which we know, we've done it before, but
yeah, but look.
Now it's the last time, I think, like you said.
Yeah. I think this will be it until next year. But we weed whacked all around the edging. We got all the fencing done. Just on the inside. We haven't done anything on the outside of the fence.
No.
Just so you guys know. But look how nice it already looks. It looks so much better.
Yeah.
It's
You can actually walk.
I was just gonna say, it's actually a lot nicer to walk through now.
You can walk without being all in the bushes.
Yeah.
You know? I get these ready for the weed barrier, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, anything that's underneath it's gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
But cleared up a little bit. You know?
I don't know what to do with this. This is a volunteer cucumber plant, and there's actually little cucumbers growing on it right now. See them? Right there. So I don't know if I should leave that just for now. Maybe I can get a cucumber off of it before the first frost comes.
I personally think you should focus on your greenhouse.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I know. So I got over here on this garden bed, grass growing. It's very nice. But I also got some cucumbers, cantaloupes growing in here. These I'm for sure gonna rip out. I don't need them in here. And I probably really don't need that cucumber either.
Nah.
It's just one plant.
I would focus the greenhouse plants personally, but whatever you want to do, honey bunny.
Well, it's gonna die here in like less than a month.
Yeah.
Because the first frost is like towards the end of October, so.
Yep. So it's up to you.
Well, I think while Anthony is tearing up some of these garden beds here for me, I'm gonna go actually inside and start planting some seeds to get this greenhouse kicked off right, you know? Got my seeds all out. I actually have my little list right here. I say little list, but there's a couple things. I put like herbs. Well, that's a bunch of herbs that I would like to plant to get this stuff going. I just want to mention too really quick that I'm going to start them in here as my plan, and then I will eventually transport them or transplant them into one of these grow bags. I actually bought like a 12 pack of these grow bags. These are like 5-gallon ones. And then actually I have some 7-gallon ones right here that I'm going to be using as well. I do want to plant like some carrots in here. I mean, I've been doing a lot of research as far as like what type of crops you should grow in here. And especially too during the winter months where it's a little bit cooler. So I want to grow like lettuce and spinach. I've tried, I think I did not try this year, but the 2 years before, I have always tried to grow like lettuce or spinach and even cabbage. And I'll get the cabbage, it'll grow, but then some bug will attack it and eat it. And then my lettuce and spinach, I try to grow it every single year, and every single year it just never does anything. I get the little sprout and then that's it. So hopefully being in the greenhouse, maybe I can actually like grow one thing of lettuce and actually have like one little salad off of it. That would be amazing.
Don't be so scared, guys. Don't be so scared. It's just grass clippings. These guys get all freaked out for some reason. I'm gonna bring this wheelbarrow in here. Then eventually they dig through everything and find bugs, and then they clean it all up. They find bugs all through here and they stop being scared of it. So these guys are in for a treat today, because those tomatoes that we're gonna pull out, I'm gonna try to pick as many of them off of it before so we don't waste nothing, and then I'll bring them in here, and I'm sure they're gonna dig through them and look for seeds and bugs and stuff. So let me see, they're already starting to be like, huh, what's that? Yep. Nothing to be scared of, guys. There's tons of seeds in those grass clippings. I am bummed out that we can't work on the supply room today. I was really hoping yesterday when we went to town I'd find what I needed. but we couldn't go to town today because we had other plans. And I really want to get this roof on this thing. And the only thing we're missing, if you guys are wondering what I'm going to town for, I'm going to be building some rafters and trusses. Well, not rafters and trusses. Trusses. Even though I know you should buy prefab ones, but I could build my own. This thing's not that big. So I need the nail plates for the trusses. The flat nailer plates, you guys know what I'm talking about? And I know in factories those get pressed in, so I'm gonna be making them myself, these trusses. And I cannot find any of those nail plates anywhere in town. They have the real small ones, but I need the big ones. Like the 5x5s or the 5x8s. The bigger ones, and nobody has them in town. So, hour there, hour back, so we decided to do something else today. Which this was needed anyway. Working inside this greenhouse in the garden, I have some things I need to go to do in there still for Roxanne. I'm pretty sure she showed you guys that there's water in there now, which is good. It's only a hose for right now going into the sink, which is fine. It's gonna work great. I have to turn it off when it freezes, but for now we can wash our hands in there. She can wash different things. She can get water right there for the plants. It's gonna be nice.
I'm officially ready to start planting. I got this first one done. I think I'm gonna put just all the leafy greens, like my lettuce, kale, spinach. I'm gonna try to grow some Brussels sprouts, some cabbage. I did grab some like Roma tomato seeds. I know tomatoes are like my worst nightmare. I have so many tomatoes, but I do want to try to grow just a couple little tomato plants in here just to try it out. But for this one, I think I'm just mainly going to use the leafy greens in this one. I do need to get a little bit more dirt so I can start filling up those grow bags. Right now I'm just using a little bit of dirt that I had from when I planted all my other stuff around here. I do have these cool, awesome plant name tags that a subscriber sent me, along with a permanent Sharpie, which is awesome. I'm going to put that to use today. That seems to always be one of my problems. I always will plant seeds in these little container things, and then I'll forget which seeds are what. So hopefully I won't make that mistake in the greenhouse this time. It's amazing the things you will discover when you actually pick stuff up, because I found this. I've been looking for this. I'm not sure exactly what the technical term for this thing is, but it's got these little marks on there. It's so you can, when you go to plant your seeds, and it says a half an inch down, you just pop it in there and it automatically creates the little hole for you. I was looking for this year earlier because I wanted to use it in the garden, but I didn't know where it went. But when we were cleaning out yesterday, I found it in, I don't know, a little box or something somewhere.
Another good thing, babe. Look.
Wow.
All those Romas.
Yeah. I knew there was a lot in there, but...
Yeah, I picked every one that was red.
Yeah, that was ready and
yeah,
not split, right?
Yeah, not split. There's a couple of cherry tomatoes that are split, not many.
Yeah.
But you got a bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, like that one split, look. I figure you're going to make sauce anyway. That one split. That might have split when I put it in there.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
But I mean, not bad for not watering for
over a month.
Over a month.
Yeah,
because we're trying to let them die.
Yeah. Well,
but they're like, no, we ain't dying.
Well,
no.
Nature's been taking over and raining and stuff, so it does get water and then perks them back up.
So we're gonna leave those ones though, right?
Yeah, I'll leave these, and then we'll
these volunteer ones.
These ones can go if you picked off what.
I picked, yeah, it's
whatever.
Bunches of I can off of there. I know there's some that it still looks like it's red, but they're super mushy.
Yeah.
So the chickens are gonna be in heaven.
You're gonna give all that to the chickens?
Yeah. I already gave them the clippings.
Nice.
They're already digging through it,
Yeah, having a good day.
Being chickens.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. So here you have more now.
Yeah, good, because I want to. I do want to make some more either diced tomatoes or tomato sauce. I haven't decided, depending on how many I got left and how many we picked.
Well, you only got one more jar, or 2 more jars of diced, right? Or do you have more?
I have more than that.
Oh.
Yeah,
I haven't seen how many. Well.
Yeah, there's more there.
Whatever you want to make. It's all good. All your sauce and your dice and everything we've had so far is phenomenal. So
yeah.
There you go.
Okay, I got everything planted for now. I know it doesn't seem like a lot. It's just one little thing right now. But I do need to get some more dirt, like I mentioned, so I can fill up some of these bags. I do have a lot of stuff I want to grow, but not a whole lot of stuff to grow, because this is my trial and error run. So I don't want to overwhelm myself the first go around and then burn myself out before I even really get started. So I think this is a good start right there. Just my leafy greens over there. I did plant a little bit of herbs. I got a little oregano in there for right now. Hopefully when we go into town to go get our supplies we need for the supply room, I can actually pick up some more dirt, and then I can fill up all these planters and blah 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 and get all that stuff situated. But yeah, look at the greenhouse is already being put to good use, and that was very functional.
There's definitely going to be some more volunteers next year.
Yeah, that's kind of how it happened last year.
Well, if you don't plant tomatoes here.
You know, I'm actually surprised.
No, there might not be, because we're putting that stuff down.
True.
They're not going to get sunlight, so.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Only wherever you plant is going to
grow. Yeah. Well, like I was just going to say, is I'm surprised that they didn't grow here this year, because I did, you know, this is where I had my tomatoes last year. I had them in this garden bed. I'm actually surprised that none actually grew in this one this year. Yep. Volunteers, but there's tomatoes in there right now. Hopefully those won't grow.
Well, these are going to get covered too, so this would be good nutrients for the ground, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And the goats keep getting out.
Yeah, the goats.
Well,
they're hanging out over here. We could let them in the garden, I guess.
I don't know if they'd come in here. You could try.
I know people have been suggesting, why don't you guys bring the goats over so they can clear it all out for you? It's hard work clearing out these beds, huh?
Yeah, I mean, not too bad. I saved your stuff. I'm gonna put them back here.
Yeah, I will.
Or we just hide them back over here.
Yeah. Yeah, not really hide them, put them away, because I will definitely be using those again. Those are the same ones I've used the last like 3 years, and I actually made those from leftover fencing. Yep. From when the garden fence was the way it used to be, not like how it is now with like it wasn't really a fence. It was just some T-post and some wire. But I took all the excess and made some really nice tomato cages, and they work very well. I haven't had an issue with them, other than sometimes they'll get too tall and too heavy and they'll fall over or something, but it's a quick and easy fix. We got one, well, this is the second one, but one done today, which it looks so nice. And I'll tell you what, we had to kind of make it work with the fence there in the middle. But I did want to mention, in case you guys want to comment or let us know, but we did add some of this awesome gold right here, some rabbit droppings to our garden beds before we put the tops on them. I was kind of thinking about this last couple days. I'm thinking I might, when I go to actually plant stuff, I might take the weed barrier stuff off, till it back up again, and throw some rabbit poop on it when it's time to actually like plant in my garden beds next year. But I'm not even gonna worry about that right now. All I'm focusing on is just getting these ready for the winter. And then I'll dump it in that, and then I'll one load good. And I'll spread it around.
Yeah. You guys are enjoying the weeds?
Girl, this is where all the good stuff is. We haven't used all this yet. That was a lot of work, actually, to rip out all these beds and put the weed barrier on there. But man, guys, it looks so nice out here. Now that we've weed-eated and mowed and picked all the overgrown tomatoes, it's like a whole new garden out here. Check it out.
Yep.
Other
it does
than
look
this,
very nice.
We're leaving that.
Yeah, there's so many more aromas still growing on it, and even if just for one more month we can get more,
Yeah.
why get rid of it, you know?
Yep, just a little bit more to harvest, but
I did not get everything done that I wanted to do today in here because we were so busy out here. This took a while.
yeah, this took like I was saying, this was a lot of hard work. But we did get it done. Look, all the garden beds have weed barrier in them. They're all covered and ready to grow for next year. I'm so excited. I'm actually looking forward to growing next year because hopefully I won't have the weed problem, which hopefully will eliminate some of my bug issues that I had. I'm just hoping for a lot. But it looks nice. I'm glad we were able to get this done today. We've been looking out the window out here in the overgrown garden, and it's been kind of like, we should do something. So I'm glad we were able to do something and get it done.
Yep. Are we gonna put weed barrier down where the pumpkins are eventually?
Yeah, I'd like to do that too for next year. I'm not really concerned about that right now.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, my main thing is just the beds right now because they need it.
Well, it's looking very, very good, babe.
It does. Yep.